Hi, everyone. Welcome to Town Hall Theater. Thank you so much for coming to this wonderful show. Just a couple of quick plugs I'd like to give and then get into some of the details. But first of all, next Friday night, we have an amazing performance, St. Patrick's Day of the Doughboys. Many music department folks playing in that show. Get your tickets at townhalltheater.org. And then Town Hall Theater has its big 15th anniversary birthday party coming up on March 30th. We have Jazz at Lincoln Center coming all the way from New York. They'll be playing this stage. It's going to be a tremendous evening in which we do a quick look at our history by a beautiful, heartwarming video that Doug Anderson will introduce, and we'll have a glimpse of our future as well. And for tonight, we're so happy to be presenting with Michole Biancosino and Trish Dougherty, 40 Poems for 40 Pounds. This is a book that I had a joy of reading with my book club. Trish Dougherty, I think, really has this wise, witty, and incredibly resonant story through this series of poems, which you'll see tonight. And Michole Biancosino, who, as you know, is a director and professor at the college and has Project Y Theater Company. When she brought up the idea of bringing these poems to life in this way, you know, we couldn't have been more thrilled to jump at the opportunity. There will be a brief moment, not quite an intermission, more of a seventh inning stretch, in which cannolis will be delivered to you in your seats, which, I mean, I'm sorry, how much better does it get than that? And also, if you want to jump up and grab a drink, that would be the time to do it, but it'll be really quick, and there'll be poets or folks reading poems and talking about poems on stage right after that, so don't take too long of a break. And then, of course, the raffle that you all just were a part of, that'll be drawn right after the show, so stick around for that. And then there are books that the Vermont Bookshop is selling, and Trish Dougherty herself is here to sign them and inscribe them however you may like. So thanks so much for being with us. Enjoy the show.
Lifetime. Sometimes I miss the meetings. I still have my gold star stickers. They were sweeter than cookies, more refreshing than beer. I loved those stickers. I buy sheets of them at the store. They aren't the same. They don't taste as sweet. Not without a whole room of polite clapping to back them up. Now I am alone. Just me in this lifetime of diet lore. Just me and my daily logbook. Just me, my daily logbook, and the early morning encounters with the bathroom scale. Just me, the logbook, the bathroom scale, and these poems. You're my gold star now, dear audience. Share this with me.
You are not alone. You are not alone as you stand before your mirror, sucking it in, pulling back your shoulders, posing. You are not alone as you approach the scale, pulling off your socks, your jewelry, bracing. You are not alone in your worries, cholesterol, high blood pressure, immobility. I am right behind you, not weighing what my driver's license says, winded as I climb the stairs, depressed. But it helps to know we are together, and there are so many of us. Maybe instead of asking a new friend about her religion or what kind of car she drives, we should just casually inquire, do you weigh yourself nude? And when they say yes, we should throw our arms around them and cry and say, sister, and laugh at our licenses together and know we are not alone.
Secrets. Standing in the shame-filled glow of the refrigerator, casing the options before me, repurposed margarine tub, Tupperware, pie plates. Who says no to perfectly good cold sweet potatoes served fresh, or okay, maybe not so fresh, at 10 o'clock at night? Are they saying no to this fantastic cranberry sauce and this quarter slice of pie? Close the lids and return them to the shelves. Wash and dry the spoon, tuck it back in the drawer. It was too few bites to bother writing down. This never happened.
Divine intervention. I ruthlessly pruned a third of my wisteria. The magazine said that would make it bloom. Magazines are rubbish. The measured snipping made me yearn for the master gardener who would take his hand to me, coax out my flowers, and maybe do a little something about this unsightly spreading. It's still early spring. Too soon to tell if I did any good for my wisteria or accidentally killed the whole thing.
Too many confessions are not good either. The act of starting a diet contains within it a confession that you are overweight. Sorry, I'm dieting, you whisper, with your hand out to stop the food being pushed on you. And you do whisper, but the room echoes like you shouted. Diligently writing down every single thing you eat contains the confession that you don't pay attention. Sometimes I write down things I eat before I even eat them, just to see how they will play out. It doesn't stop me, but it feels proactive. Weighing your food is the confession that you lie. What matters 1 gram when we are all going to die eventually? It doesn't matter. Write down what the kitchen scale says. Weighing yourself is the confession that you don't see yourself. I step on the platform, and the number it shows me is just one arbitrary axis. I am immeasurable.
What's being said? I made this for you, so you have to eat it. You opened a package. You shouldn't have, really. I made for you, so you have. Constantly with the I, followed by guilt, guilt and a threat. I made for you, so you. You always think of food when you're worried. As my body changes, our relationship changes. I, for you. You know my likes and dislikes. We have shared hundreds of meals. What will we share now? I, you. I'm not leaving you, but it's your turn to be the fat friend.
This plateau, the scale will not change. I nudge it to another part of the floor where the slope is more treacherous. I flip it 180 degrees. Maybe the slope is more benevolent now? The scale will not change. I am trying to find a place in this tiny bathroom where 2 + 2 = 3. In the future, Will houses come with special nooks where gravity is weak? A kitchen with a dark corner where all laws of biology and conservation of matter are helpfully suspended. What future, I wonder, as the scale does not change?
I cheated. I ate when I wasn't hungry. I ate because I was sad. I ate because I was a hole that needed to be filled. I ate because my mouth was empty. I ate my loneliness. I ate my streak of being good. I ate my self-respect. I ate garbage. I invented new freestyle garbage to eat. Ham wrapped around bread, wrapped around cheese. Ham wrapped around fingers, wrapped around thighs. I became garbage. Sadder, lonelier, and emptier. Arms wrapped around shoulders, wrapped around knees. Grief wrapped around loneliness, wrapped around nothing.
Reasons. Cheekbones as sharp as my tongue. That crease between my chins that never tans. The flaps under my arms that remind me and everyone else who sees them of Grandma. Seeing my feet without leaning. Chub rub. Tall boots. Belts.
I'm out. It's 2:00 in the afternoon, and I'm out of calories for the day. Out of sugar, out of sodium, and out of fat. My recommended daily allowance suggests I now go sit in the corner and think about my choices. The next 10 hours stretch out before me like an ocean of weak herbal teas studded with lemon wedges. I will accept this. Not quite as greedily as I accepted that cheeseburger and fries, but stoically. And with head held high, I accept the consequences. I knew what I was doing. I knew it would be my last meal of the day. I savored every bite, treasured every swallow. It was better than 10,000 celery sticks.
The monster within. Even after I have dutifully, voraciously consumed my breakfast, I can feel it. The gnawing and growling of my little monster. That's what I make it, I decide. Eat me, I croon, and nudge a roll of flesh helpfully closer. Should I name the monster? Or would that be weird? I already find myself looking for him, the same way I search out dumpster raccoon. And isn't this monster just the same? Picking out my trash, studying a thigh, decomposing it into all the bad choices that led to that particular jiggle, judging the soft yeastiness, testing it with a nibble. Eat me, I whisper, and offer myself up to the monster. This isn't weird. I wish he would take giant bites. The teasing, the imperceptible changes frustrate me. I want more violence. I want him to tear at this body, to pull away all that is soft and unnecessary until I am hard, until I am a warrior. That's what monsters are for. The gnawing and growling intensify. Good.
This you must do. Strap sticks of butter to your thighs, feel them sliding and greasy, then take them off and revisit how you lost that pound. Tuck a bag of flour under your shirt, artisan flour and a generous cotton sack, the flour loose and soft and white. Then take it out and lose 5 pounds again. The entire world has been weighed, measured, calibrated. Props are readily available. A 40-pound bag of dog kibble slides in my arms and the weight shifts suddenly. I heft the bag higher and dream of the day of the 40th poem.
Decisions. I went to the grocery store after a long day at work. The list included such vagaries as yogurt, cereal, ice cream, and spaghetti sauce. By the time I reached the spaghetti sauce, I was on the phone, not in tears, but tears adjacent. Greek, low-fat, coconut had already been negotiated. 4 cereals, one with chocolate, one novelty, one with strawberries, and Raisin Bran were already in the cart. 2 ice creams, espresso chip and chocolate peanut butter cup were slowly softening. I stood before a wall of spaghetti sauces with no decisions left. A bankrupt puddle of crushed tomatoes. I borrowed the strength of the voice on the phone, choosing a homestyle marinara with garlic and onions in a jar that held a pleasing shape, and then I turned my battered spirit toward the long, quiet checkout lines. But just then the voice continued, soft and full of love. Maybe you could get some wine, too?
Pretending. Thin, young women. Thin, young women on TV. Thin, young women on TV dancing in tiny dresses. Thin, young women on TV dancing in tiny dresses and drinking with abandon. The thin young women on TV, dancing in tiny dresses and drinking with abandon, are pretend. Don't try to be them. It will end in tears. Pretend you are still young. Pretend you are thin. You are thinner than you think. Pretend your dress is a trendy slip of a thing just like you. Pretend you have abandoned all your cares. But don't, actually. Life is not pretend. It will end in tears. You don't need the drama. You don't need the huffing and fighting and gossiping. You don't need the empty calories of $15 cocktails. Maybe you do need the dancing. No matter what
It will end in tears.
What's in a size? I strut out of the dressing room triumphant, which doesn't happen very often. Not to me, not to anyone. I am a 10, short and curvy. The jeans I toss in the trash are not, but now I am. Check my size. The strutting continues undiminished through the grocery store, the checkout line. The cashier asks to see my ID. She holds it close to study. Do I really look that good? Or did I just buy the cheapest wine? The cashier types on her screen, updating my file, no doubt, adding the new size. The receipt includes my horoscope and a number to call. The coupons are for fancy shampoo and a wine tasting seminar. The strutting continues with blessings.
Cheat Day. The most sacred cheat day and its holy restorative powers. Amen. Pours a glass of red wine at noon on the nose. Plans a dinner with bread, with pasta, with pork stuffed with pork. This most glorious cheat day includes a lot of trouble, a good deal of fussing, and even some expense. It's an event to work for, not something you're due, not an entitlement, but an achievement. The most sacred cheat day and its holy restorative powers, amen, pours a glass of red wine and raises a toast to life. Remember this happiness. Remember this joy. Remember this feeling tomorrow.
Beyond number, wheeling through the night sky, the stars are without number in their depth and glory, much like the crackers that I ate tonight. Beyond count as I slid them, one by one, though some had cheese, into my waiting mouth. Barely empty it was, as cracker followed cracker. The beer could scarcely keep up with the washing down the throat, with the swishing of the palate. The stars bring their complexity and glory, wheeling through the night sky. So grand, so aloof, so removed from the 1,000 tiny hurts and these 1,000 crackers. Each a Band-Aid, each a bruise, each a mistake, without number, beyond counting. How can you ask me to record the stars?
Daily fiber. Almost every product advertises them, the brothers fiber, soluble and insoluble. Or, by not declaring, thus, proclaims an absence, also useful. But where does one shop for moral fiber? Which aisle does it lurk within? I'm asking for a friend, the same friend who put that ice cream in my cart.
the deadline. An event lurches into view on your horizon, a most auspicious day that someone will need to capture. The group photo will be blown up, 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 and hang on someone's wall no matter how bad you look. They will place you in the front row. In the center of the front row, shorty, and fan around you like flowers surrounding a toad. A date appears on the calendar, and suddenly everything is in focus. There is a clarity and an urgency that was missing before, back when I was expecting that I could lose and regain the same 2 pounds forever. It behooves us, my friends, take advantage of this situation.
Pulling. In pottery class, as I struggle to center my clay, centering is hard. Stacy asks me what I'm making. A tall and slender vessel, I snarl, slapping and bullying the clay. Later we will discuss which is the lowest form of pottery. Is it the humble salsa bowl or the cat food dish? I watch another piece of clay spin on my wheel, neither tall nor slender. I wonder if I can fill this one with ice cream.
Love. Bread that you kneaded and nurtured and made from scratch, that you pulled hot out of the oven, cut too soon and slathered in butter. That's not love. Chocolate chip cookies that require a trip for milk, barely baked in the middle, spread hot and gooey, they are not love. Homemade chicken soup, lasagnas, and pot pies, delicious and lovely to share, yes, 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 but not love. You can love making them, love the people you make them for, and you can make them with love. But they're food, amalgamations of fats and sugars, an entirely different kind of chemistry. Don't conflate the two. Love is holding hands in the parking lot. Love is cuddling a little bit closer after you hit the snooze button. Love is gluten-free. Oh, but I don't want to hurt your feelings, so I'll eat this anyway. Pass the milk.
Different. I look at my thighs spreading across the chair like waves running up the shoreline. They spread and spread, filling all available space, covering as far as they can reach, as far as the denim tide allows. And I feel exactly the same. I wish for all the pictures I deleted so I can compare my neck, compare my cheeks, the depths of my eye sockets. Has anything changed? I feel exactly the same. I fold jeans that are size 8 instead of 14. The fabric is the same blue. I don't know what to feel. Maybe someday I will feel confident, accomplished in this tiny thing that so many people manage. Maybe someday my thighs will be acceptable. But I don't know how to get there. I don't know if this is the right road that gets me there, or if I need to change something besides the numbers on the scale.
Just one haiku. Hole in my bagel, dripping with melted cream cheese. Deduct calories.
A funeral as seen from the acquaintance section. Stand about midway in the back of the church, not as far forward as family, not too far back suspiciously like some dramatic event. This is an old person's funeral. The tide of her life, which once surged forth, ebbs away completely today. Once upon a time, she flew to California, visited family, stuck her toe in the Pacific Ocean. She slurped down clams on the beach, and all summer long she smelled of tomatoes. At the end, her world was the kitchen chair, the recliner, the bed. She knew everybody at the co-op, was on the library board for years, dwindled to nurses and hospice volunteers. Life went on without her, not noticing she was still around. Kneel about halfway in the middle of the church. Think about who might come to your funeral. It's an odd expenditure of energy thinking about your own funeral. It's nice to make a few plans, save others the burden of guessing. You'll never know what happens. 100 people could show up, moved by the obituary you wrote in advance. Or maybe suddenly, in a fit of whimsy, you leave everything to your neighbor's niece, the one who checks in on you, the one who brings you the good bread from the co-op, because she remembers seeing you there in the aisle squeezing the loaves looking for crust. She asked you one time, and you just tore off an end right there in the store, just ripped it off and handed it to her so she could taste. It was a very good loaf, with a crust that crackled and a crumb you could chew. You leave everything to her with instructions. No funeral, no empty church pews, no flowers thrown on a casket like sacrificial Greek lovers. Sell everything you can, give away the rest. Visit Italy. Eat the good bread for me. Life is in the memory of the food that we share. You're standing now, flipping hastily through the hymnal, already a verse behind. It's hard to read with the tears streaming down.
Bon appetit. Slick pages draw all of my attention. I linger over captions, savor every morsel of detail. I have to swallow before turning the next page. Swallow and take a deep breath. The next image is the most captivating, so vivid in its details I can smell it. I'm hot. I'm dizzy. Not sure I can turn another page. Cookbooks have replaced romance novels. Food magazines are the new pornography.
Snobs. There are enough people who don't appreciate the nice things. We don't need to cultivate them. Husband says, I've done a disservice to my sons offering them the most delicious food. I think it more tragic to accept bland sustenance, dutifully consuming rote calories for the sake of survival. Should I have taught them to live with bare walls? Provided them cells without books or soft chairs? Should I have raised Spartans without gardens who can't tell a daffodil from a rose? My children know a Monet from a Seurat and a Mornay from a Hollandaise. They were raised in my petit salon to be ideal dinner companions. They expect pillows and blankets, home-baked cookies served warm with milk. If that makes them snobs, unsuited for life in this harsh, bleak world, they can always stay with me.
Enesis, the clatter of a spoon breaks me out of my early morning lethargy. That son of a bitch dog is eating my breakfast. I could measure out a new bowl. It doesn't matter much. None of this matters. But the bathroom scale was unkind. Let us not speak of it. Perhaps this is the universe, bending low, lending a hand, or a paw, or really an opportunistic licking. So I content myself with moping about the trials of dieting and poorly trained boxers. Lamenting the things that are within your power to change, to improve. Really, everything's there. You can pour another bowl. It's unattractive. Take the assist and move on with your morning.
Cherry chip. This is the bowl of ice cream that I ate when you said you weren't coming back. Cherry vanilla, soft and sweet like you used to be. The little brittle chocolate pieces breaking under my teeth were me. The cherries, cold and frozen, were your wretched little heart doing this to me. I found the tiniest spoon and swirled it around so that I could have both things in one bite like we were together again. And then I slumped over the sink and read your email over and over again, long after the ice cream was gone.
Hurting. I want to spread every feeling across hot buttered toast and eat forever. Grow as big as a house, the biggest ever, so everyone will know how much I'm hurting. And I want to never eat again. Sew my lips shut, hold up a hand, and shake my head, no, 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 never eat again,
and look so thin, so tragic, that everyone will know how much I'm hurting.
Maybe. Maybe this is the definition of growing up, realizing that if I had a magic wand and waved it to be a size 2, it wouldn't last. Quick fixes are temporary. Sooner or later, we slide back to what we've always been. The young come along and chide us, call us complacent, pessimistic. The word they're looking for is pragmatic. Maybe this is the point of growing up, mapping the perimeters of your comfort zone and finding the sweet spot, corners you don't mind cutting, a reflection you don't mind seeing. Maybe this is the wisdom of growing up, seeing things beyond the surface, accepting my own shortcomings so I can empathize with others. Maybe I'm too old for this.
Handicap fries. Sitting in a bar with new friends, the spicy not too hot flavor from this bowl of French fries transports me back to my first bar. Murphy's didn't believe in food, only tiny bags of handicap fries. It was a bar so unadorned, my mother refused to go in and fetch my father. She sent me instead. I remember having to stop just inside the door, letting my eyes adjust from the dazzling summer sunlight to the dim space. I remember standing there, caught in the darkness, knowing the men could all see me. I remember the tall black vinyl stools perching with my grandfather and my father, trying not to stare at the man with no nose. My father died first. The bar closed second. But my grandfather had already stopped going there. We lost more than my father that year. We lost everything he loved too, because it all hurt so much. My grandfather died a long time later. I have no idea when the man with no nose died. The next time I order these fries, I will think of them all again. Forever in their regular spots, forever smiling as they wait for my eyes to adjust, forever waiting for me to run to them. And for that, I am grateful. Food is a gift.
Remind me. When life gets dark, remind me I have a cannoli in my purse. Remind me about the joy of chasing a 2-year-old, snatching them up and holding them close, tickling and shrieking. Remind me how it feels when your arm slides along the dip of my waist. Soft skin and bare, touching skin, soft and bare. Help me remember the feeling of lake water closing over my head, popping up again with hair slicked back, eyes as dark as a seal. Remember dancing. I'm terrible at dancing, but sometimes when the music is loud enough, I forget and dance anyway. Remember getting lost in the city, but making good time doing it, holding hands and marching downtown with the lights, block after block. I don't want to eat it. I don't ever need to eat it. But when life gets dark, remind me I have a cannoli in my purse. And now we'll have a little break, and everyone will be invited to have a cannoli. Go ahead.
Troy, if Helen was a pizza. My food diary stretches back 6 months now, long enough to be a siege. Like any good war, I have no recollection of how it started. Was there a word spoken out of turn, or has this been the whim of the gods? In my battle, I imagine the Greeks bear promises of health and happiness. The Trojans hunker down with warm, buttered toast and ignore them. I am both sides. I think about Patroclus trying to wear a better man's armor and dying in it on the field outside the gates. I worry about being struck down by a spear before I can eat ice cream again. I am Odysseus, quick with savage planning and canny bartering as I struggle to not give up, to gain whatever ground I can. It's the Trojans that let strange food into my city. I am Penelope too, obediently industrious all day in front of suitors, but at night, alone, everything comes undone. At night, the loneliness creeps up my throat and wine chases it back down again. This food diary tells a tale as clear as Achilles' shield, though not quite as dark. The empty plains of repeated meals are cruelly the triumphs. Parties and friends mark lost ground. The irony lends itself to a balance and the endurance of the siege. This rocky plateau I have named Scylla. That vortex of emotional eating is Charybdis. The way through is tricky and prone to backsliding. I have a weight log too, recorded in private, in the nude, in the bathroom. The graph shows a wandering star, drifting close to a goal and then shooting away again, drawing near and drawing close. I can reach a weight and hold it, hold close to that number as it becomes familiar, master that weight, and then reach out for the next one. It's slow, so slow this way, but maybe it's sustainable. Back and forth the siege continues. Will it be 10 years? 20 years, the rest of my life? I am Calypso, enraptured with the project, holding myself captive.
Bones. The scale looms before me, and I don't want to get on it. I just want to sit here alone on the bathroom floor and put my head down and cry for 100 years. Then you can come in and weigh my dry, white bones and take my measure then.
Praise. There are times when the mother stands behind the bicycle, cheering and clapping. There are times where the mother peeks through the door, steps away again. Her praise is not required every single time. I don't know if I've ever tried to explain this to you. There are times when what you're doing has to be for your own reasons. Parenting guides call them natural consequences. Parenting teachers ask if we want to raise autonomous adults or not. There are times we do. There are times I'm not sure I want to be an autonomous adult. I spy you spying on me, run behind my bicycle, stomping your feet, waving your hands in the air, shouting so everyone hears, "Your ass looks fabulous, Mom."
Engineers. They say there are not enough women engineers, yet every summer, scores of us put on bathing suits. The geometry of conic sections, the rigging of straps artfully lifting, tensile strength of space-age fabrics cunningly woven into camouflaging puckers, camouflaging panels and lines, camouflaging everything. All of that measured against price, color, availability. All of that considered against the challenges of the day, the venue, the audience, the potential athletic demand. All of that taken against the goal, which is never to look good, but realistically, to just look the best one can reasonably expect and be comfortable with that. They say there aren't enough women engineers. Maybe they just don't know where to look.
Mistakes.
25-cent hot dog night at the local ballpark. Attending was a mistake. Bringing my own mustard was not.
I baked a lasagna when I was home alone, completely unsupervised with 15 pounds of hot, bubbling deliciousness.
I planted mint straight in my garden. I'll just make more mojitos, I bragged, like a fool.
I saw the same movie 3 times because the theater served beer and burritos. Cried every time, too.
I bought a 5-gallon tin of cheese popcorn. My son dared me to, after I dared him to dare me.
I was also the winning high bid for a case of cheese popcorn. It was for charity. Charitable eating is still eating.
Cheese popcorn is my weakness.
So is beer.
And pizza.
And life. What
can you do?
Skin. As you rush through life, hands creaking on the steering wheel. Remember to breathe. Remember to enjoy the skin you're in. Fill your skin. Be as you are now. Not an old shirt stretched out unflattering. Not a future shirt, buttons gaping too tight to move. Wear what fits you now. And wear it every single day. No one minds.
There is no 40th poem. There is no happy ending, no ending at all. Only different degrees of caring, of paying attention, of diligence. I wish for you enough family photo events to keep you from wandering too far. I wish for you long plateaus close to where you want to be. I wish for you friends to love and support you. And failing that, I'm glad you came tonight. Thank you.